Today I'm making a really simple summery dinner with some rice, corn, and beans. It is a beautiful side dish, but it also doubles as a vegetarian main in case you have people over, because this is a perfect casual entertaining menu. It's a one-pot deal. So over here I have a nice 12-inch nonstick skillet heating up over medium-high heat, a tablespoon of olive oil. To that I'm gonna add one nice finely chopped onion. We're just gonna cook this about 5 minutes till they're softened and lightly browned. All right, spread them out. All right, so now let's talk about corn, because we're gonna have beans, rice, and corn, the magic trio. Now you can use frozen corn if you want, but fresh corn just makes this dish sparkle. And as I mentioned, this side dish, delicious as a side, great as a vegetarian main. This corn looks pretty good too, it's local. All right, now I'm gonna cut the corn off the cobs. Lots of way to do this. I see lots of gadgets out there that help you do it. I'm not a gadget person for this. Big bowl, that's all I like, a big bowl to capture all the kernels that are flying off the cob. Little paring knife. Just gonna cut all the kernels right off the cob into the bowl. There you go. Get any ones on the very ends, that looks good. So just 2 ears of corn, plenty for this dish. All right, that looks good. Gonna set this aside. Those onions need a few more minutes. Gives me time to focus on the topping for the rice and beans. Now, I love this little topping. I make it and put it on top of everything. It's just tomatoes with some herbs and scallions. Today I'm gonna use cherry tomatoes, or these are grape tomatoes. I like them because they're always in season, they're always fresh, and they hold their shape when you chop them. So I'm just gonna quarter the tomatoes. This is about 12 ounces of cherry tomatoes, or grape tomatoes as it were. And nowadays there are so many lovely sweet varieties of cherry tomatoes. Some of them almost taste like candy, they're so sweet. Yeah, I make this topping. I put it on top of chicken, I put it on top of fish, almost like a relish or a sauce. I definitely make this on taco night. And last little guy, here you are. All right, into the bowl they go. Let's take a look at those onions. Oh, they look good. They're softened, they're a little bit browned, just what we're looking for. So now I'm gonna add the corn into the skillet. We're gonna cook the corn for about 4 minutes, let it get a little brown and toasty. All right. While the corn cooks, let's return our attention to the topping. I'm gonna add a little bit of cilantro, and by a little, I mean a lot. I think the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons, quarter of a cup, thereabouts. I'm gonna add a ton because it's my favorite fresh herb. I'm just gonna chop it up, not too finely, kind of a coarse chop, and I am gonna include some of the stems. Obviously, I washed this already. Oh, that might look like double the amount of cilantro, which is perfect for me. All right, so into the tomatoes, most of the cilantro. All right. Now for some scallions, we're gonna add 5 scallions. I wanna slice them thinly, but as I always do on the thicker ends, the white ends, I'm gonna slice them in half first. That way you just don't get a big chunk of scallion when you're eating. I can hear that corn sizzling away. Let's go check on it. Oh yeah, the sugars in the corn are starting to brown and toast. It adds such a killer flavor. All right, a couple more minutes for those. Back to the scallions. Again, just a nice thin slice. All right, into the bowl of tomatoes it goes. All right, last but not least, a little oil, a little lime juice. About a tablespoon of each. Can't beat fresh lime juice. If you're ever tempted to buy that store-bought lime juice, just put it right back down. Stuff tastes like chemicals. It doesn't have that fresh lime fragrance that you want. And a tablespoon of olive oil, thereabouts. There we go. Some salt and pepper. And that's it. That's as simple as it gets. And again, I put this on everything. All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Let's take a look at that corn. Oh, you can see it's nice and brown. The sugars in the corn have come out and started to caramelize. That is the flavor that I love about this rice dish. All right, now I'm gonna add 4 cloves of garlic right into the skillet using a garlic press. corn and garlic is delicious together. All right, let's scrape off the back side of the press. There we go. So I'm just gonna cook this garlic out about 30 seconds. You just want it to hit the oil, hit the hot pan, and get fragrant. All right, next up, just a little bit of spice. We're gonna add some cumin and some cayenne. For ground cumin, we're gonna add a teaspoon right into the pan. And for the cayenne, just a little bit, just a pinch. Pinch goes a long way. There we go. We're gonna let these spices cook out about a minute. A lot of spices really bloom and develop their flavor when they mix with oil before adding the liquid. So that's what we're doing here. We're blooming those flavors. Oh, that smells good. Next, we're gonna add the rice. Now here I have an interesting little contraption. This is 1 cup of long grain rice, but I've rinsed it. That rinses away any of that excess starch, so you get nice, distinct rice grains in the finished dish. And when you rinse it, you just put it in a fine mesh strainer, run under cold water. So I've had it sitting here, draining. Into the pan, the rinsed rice goes. We're gonna cook this with the spices in the heat, about a minute. Let the edges of the rice turn a little translucent. All right, that looks good. Next up, the broth. This is 3 cups of broth. What broth you use is up to you. Vegetable broth keeps it vegetarian. This is chicken broth because I like the little bit of heartier flavor it gives. But again, if you have vegetarians coming for dinner, veg broth tastes delicious. You really want to make sure all the grains of rice are submerged into the liquid or they will taste raw. Last but not least, 2 cans of black beans. Again, I've got them in a little contraption here. This is a colander because I opened the can of beans, drained them, rinsed them, and I just had it sitting over a dog bowl, which is my prep bowl of choice, just to make sure to get all the excess water off. Into the pan, the black beans go. There we go. Now I'm just gonna put the lid on, bring it up to a simmer, then return it to medium-low, let it cook really gently, about 20 minutes until that rice is good and tender. It's been 20 minutes for that rice, so let's check it out. Oh, yes. I love this dish. You could see the corn that's toasted, the black beans are heated through, and to tell if the rice is done, you want to poke down, see if there's any liquid in the bottom. I don't see any. I can tell the rice is good and tender. Just gonna fluff it a little bit. Try to get those beans mixed in a little bit because they have a tendency to float on the top. I love this rice. It has so much of that garlic in it. Oh, it's delicious. All right, so that's good. Now for the tomatoes on top. Recipe says to sprinkle them on top. I like to just put them in the middle so everyone can get some tomatoes, but they can see on the outside that it's rice, beans, and corn, so they know what they're getting into. All right, time to make a nice hearty plate. Starting off with a little of the rice and beans. Oh, this is an iconic summer meal. Good enough for company, good enough for you just to sit at home by yourself and eat it. I love that the rice is nicely cooked, but it has that corn in it that got a little caramelized, and that just gives the whole thing kind of a summery vibe. See you next time. Thanks for watching. What'd you think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you're excited to cook this week. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. You can get today's recipes and more for free at our website, americastestkitchen.com/JuliaAtHome.